And what I want to do is go home and shove a pizza in my mouth. I want to shove a pizza down my throat. I want to get high. I want to get drunk. I want to be unconscious. I just had a really frustrating, discouraging event happen. I want to cry actually, but I'm not going to. So I my Gram's birthday is coming soon, and I was practicing making a birthday cake for her. She's gonna be 97 this year. Um, and I just made a birthday cake for her. I'm practicing. I practice. I don't make cakes, so I wanted to practice, and so I made one yesterday afternoon, and I I'm having a really hard time because I had I was trying to see. I can't speak. I can't speak. I can't do shit. So my mom's friend, volunteers at a local senior citizen center, and they were having a potluck today in a little bit. And so once we tasted the cake to see that it was good, which it was, we were we were giving the cake and some other stuff that my aunt made. I was bringing it to their potluck, and I could not find it. And it's crazy to get lost in this place is ridiculous. The town is tiny. However, I've never been there before, and my GPS wasn't working, so I can't really be expected to know locations of places I've never been. So I guess that's not crazy, but the anxiety is ridiculous. I'm so tired of feeling like this. The simplest task is making me want to cry and have a heart attack. Even, and once I found it, which I did, when I walked in the door, the room was quiet, and there were like two or three tables filled with a bunch of old people, and I use that term respectfully. I'm like, all my loved ones are old, you know, and I match the vibe of a senior citizen more than I match the vibe of a senior citizen as a before I even hit puberty. I was more like an old woman. So it's not like there's no shade. I am a senior citizen. Anyway, it was a room of old people and it was silent, or they were whispering or something. But when I walked in, it was totally quiet. And all these people just looked at me, which is, of course, is, I love being looked at. And they all just were looking at me. And if I hadn't seen my mom's friend at the table, it's like I don't know. There was a long time period where it seemed like no one was going to get up or say anything to me, even my mom's friend. So I was going to drop this stuff on the table and run out if I hadn't seen her starting to get up. But I think she was hurt or something and having trouble walking or something. But I did. I almost just threw the stuff on the table and left. But she was coming, and, and this is someone that's known me since I was a baby, by the way. To illustrate the ridiculousness of my reaction. But not knowing where I'm going. What do I think I'm doing trying to be a door dasher, delivering Uber Eats, when these people expect their food and they expect their deliveries? Amazon Flex, another thing I've tried. I can't do it because I get too freaking stressed out, not knowing where I'm going and knowing there are people waiting and watching me on the app, and just, it's not for me. Don't do that. Don't try that. Don't stop that. I'm just getting really frustrated and sad that these simple things on such a small scale are so freaking challenging and hard and scary to me. Like, why? Why am I like this? Why am I like this? If I don't know where I'm going, if the road isn't perfectly straight, or there's weird railroad tracks and curves and the lines are weird, it confuses me. I mean, can you imagine getting afraid of delivering a cake to a senior citizen center? What do I think is going to happen? what do I think is going to happen? That they're going to I'm delivering them really good chocolate cake for free. I don't know, but just standing there in that quiet where they're all just looking at me. And can you imagine just some weird fat guy showing up out of nowhere? And I almost... a piñata. Can you imagine some weird fat guy showing up with a piñata at a senior citizen place? Just showing up? I didn't bring the piñata in. I was too embarrassed. It just seemed like such a ridiculous sight. Just me, myself, with cake was a ridiculous sight. A shame-inducing sight. Okay, so what this is turning into is me complaining about everything, which is exactly not how I want to be. This isn't how I want to behave. This is not what I want to put out into the world. The world doesn't need more bad vibes. I don't need to contribute to that. But here I am, that's what I'm doing. The value in it. Is there value in it? Is it even making me feel better? It will, when I breathe and I take the time to reflect on it. That stuff just happened, and that's why I'm riled. I'm riled. But once I calm down and reflect on it, so what this is me getting pissed off and discouraged in the middle of the practice, in the middle of the process. I'm upset that I'm like this, but in order to not be like this, I have to practice being otherwise, which is what I did. I know it sounds like a small thing, but getting in my car, going somewhere I don't know to see people that I don't know, and my mom's friend, though I've known her my whole life, it's not like we're in constant contact, you know. So what this is me trying, and it's hard, and it makes me uncomfortable. And so yes, I'm upset, okay? Because I'm pushing myself to do shit I don't want to do, that I feel like I can't do. I know I can, but it brings me so much discomfort that of course I avoid it, and everyone else would too. Everyone else would avoid. People avoid things they don't want to deal with. And yes, it's a small thing, you know? My life is small, okay? I'm not an important, I don't know the words. I'm not a firefighter. I'm not a police officer. I'm not in the military. I'm not some CEO. My influence is so small compared to the rest of the world, and that makes me feel like a small, unimportant so yes, I'm upset. In order to change, you have to think differently and be differently. And so that's what I'm doing. So yes, I'm getting upset in the moment, but it's just part of the process. And I need to look at this as an example of change and progress, and not use it as a reason to keep hammering on myself, like to keep beating the drum of the conditions that have been. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of like, what am I expecting? Yes, I'm upset. I got scared. I got panicked. That's what I'm doing. That's the lesson. It's gonna happen because I'm facing it. So stop getting upset stop getting upset when you're doing something good. What you're doing is positive. Use this as a reason to celebrate and acknowledge that you're taking steps where you want to go, instead of using the discomfort for proof. I don't even know how to explain this, but if anyone's watching this, I think you understand. So just shut up, Jeff, dude. Shut up. Just... That's the thing about being alive, is that it's such a roller coaster. Yeah, you can be enlightened all you want. You can be wise and clever and know the intellectual truth of things, but it's the practice where you find out who you really are. And I'm a student. As is everyone else, by the way. I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know why I'm putting myself down. Everyone's lesson plan is different. Everyone's curriculum is different. This one's mine. Stop comparing I'm looking at everyone else's lessons and saying, well, you know, I'm not meant to be a father. I'm not meant to be a firefighter or some other significant, stressful thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not my classroom. This is my classroom. And apparently, God knows my life is small, my influence is small, because that's all I can handle. That's all I'm meant to handle, and that's okay. This is what I've been given, and so I just need to do the best with what I've been given. And I am. So calm down and breathe. See, I told you with time and with reflection, you can't, when you're spiraling or crashing out, you don't have access to that part of your brain power, but I'm calming down and I'm being able to see things more rationally. And I just keep expecting things to come quickly, and you can't live a lifetime being and acting and thinking a certain way and expect to be the complete opposite. You have to continuously, repeatedly act as that person and not let your old reactions suck you back in, feeding that loop. And that's what my tendency to do is. But I've come to see that taking responsibility for my thoughts, like not letting myself get it's that saying, it doesn't matter how many times you fall, it's how many times you get up again. It doesn't matter how many times I get sucked in to the nightmare. It's how many times I'm able to wake myself up again, to remember what's really going on here, to remember that I'm safe, that God has me, that life has my back. That's where my power is, coming back to that truth over and over and over again. I deliver the cake. I look a fool in front of a bunch of old people. I give myself grace. And I try again. Over and over and over again. And that applies to everything. That applies to my weight loss efforts, to my interactions with other humans, lovers, friends, strangers, my beautiful grandmother. I'm doing my best. I'm literally doing my best. And part of knowing who I am as a child of God is treating myself with the love that I deserve. I would never treat loved ones the way I treat myself. I would never speak to them. I would never let them down the way that I do myself. And that has to change. That is a part of my practice. That's part of my work as a soul. It's a very solitary path, which is why it's nice to talk about it here. It's very not natural to me. It's not something I've done in my life, is to talk. Oh, great. Here comes someone. Here comes someone. Look at the guy with the phone talking to himself, filming himself. And of course they're going to park right beside me. Watch. Watch. Oh, there they go. Let them roll on by. Come on, I'll open the door. Come have a seat with me. Why do I care about people that I'm not going to see ever again? People do not think about you. People do not think about you. People don't think about you. People don't care. They have their own shit to deal with. They're not even going to remember you. Anyway, being my own friend, being my own parent, being my own caregiver has to be my new practice. It is my new practice. I'm saying it right now. That's my new practice, is speaking to myself and thinking about myself the way I would someone else. A child. Someone that needs guidance and love. And that's the thing. I'm mature enough, I'm self-aware enough to know when I'm acting crazy. I'm wise enough to know when my shame and conditioning has taken over and I'm not operating like a healthy adult would. And so when those times come, the work is to behold that part of myself the way I would I don't even know. The work is to treat that behavior and that fear the way you would a child, the way you would someone that doesn't know better. You know, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. I need to give myself love in times like that, because no one's going to save me but myself. I know I have a spirit team. I know I have God. But in this 3D reality, I'm the one I'm looking for. I'm the one that's going to get myself where I want to be. So I really want to dedicate myself to actually doing that, like stepping back and actually speaking to myself or writing to myself what I would say to someone that I love very much, because I have a lot of love in me. I have a lot of wisdom in me. I believe that Spirit has given me a lot of I believe that God has given me spiritual discernment. I know the truth of things. The truth is very simple, but it's embodying it and bringing it to the moment when it's needed. That's the goal. That's I think that's what you're after, is being able to live it when you need it, when the storm comes, and I can provide that kind of shelter and grace to other people. I need to extend it to myself. When I think about what I'm going to talk about on this channel, I get torn between spirituality and my ego, my psychological issues, because I see life through both perspectives. They go together because it's the suffering that I think brings a lot of people to the realization that they need a higher power. I think people get into spirituality because they know that this world is not where peace is going to be found. Even a healthy ego is still an ego. Even the most well-adjusted personality is still a personality. It's still not your spirit self. And I'm thankful for all the I incarnated into this life knowing that this is not a lasting place, that this is just a temporary human experience thing. I knew there was more going on. Even as a child, I knew that that this wasn't I'm thankful for all the psychological issues and pain that this world has given me, because it did push me towards God. It did push me towards contemplating a reality and what's really going on. But I am here. I am a human ego, personality. While I'm here, while I experience myself as a human being, yes, I am the quantum field. I am the quantum field. I am the divine matrix. I'm an individualized unit of God consciousness. Yes. But the experience is very much of being a person, a human. And if I was deeply rooted and my spiritual understanding was mature and fully developed, I wouldn't be getting swept away by these mind stories. And that's what I use my life for, is for moments like these that make me feel crazy. I mean, it's practice. That's why I'm here. And I think I'm doing a good job. Despite being unhappy a lot of the time, I do think I'm making progress. So I'm gonna lay off the self-judgment as much as I can, which I do. But now that I have this channel, like, the impulse is to come and vent and complain and speak to someone to get it out of me. And I didn't have that before. It's all really weird. It's all compartmentalized, you know. I want things to be one way and they're not, and I want to share certain things, and it's all just a very weird dream. That's why I meditate. That's why I study the teachings. That's why I'm constantly praying. It's because I know that I of my own self can do nothing. It's the Creator that is in charge here, and just bringing myself back to that truth over and over and over again is, I think that's the play, and that's what I'm doing. So what does that look like in practice? It looks like guarding my mind, guarding my thoughts, not feeding into thoughts that don't empower me, that don't represent the truth of me. Anything that is less than divine royalty, and I say that with humility. I mean that in a spiritual way. I mean that in a spiritual way. With humility, that I'm a creation of the universe, and that deserves respect. Life itself What is greater than that? What is greater than God? What is greater than awareness, consciousness? What's greater than that? Nothing. Everything comes from it. And as a product of that, as an expression of life itself, I deserve respect. And so anytime I see the mind acting or speaking in a way that isn't respectful or empowering, I need to be on that. I need to talk back to it. I need to challenge it. I need to actively choose another thought. I need to stay rooted in the truth. I choose what happens in my mind. I choose my thoughts. I can choose my thoughts. I can choose my feelings, and I can choose my behaviors. I learned that from my counselor, and that's the thing that I have not practiced. It's what I'm going to practice. It's just going to be a reparenting effort. I'm going to, when that shamed child part of me starts reacting and fearing and acting crazy, I'm going to step in as the wise adult as the Son of God I am, and act accordingly and show him the way. And I'm going to have to do it over and over and over again until this life is over, I'm sure. But that's okay. That's what I'm here for. That's what I signed up for. That's what I think each soul's assignment is to consciously live from that place. So, good talk. Good talk. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.